What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Barbell Brigade Talk Show. We got me, Bart, Mike, and Nads. And you had a question about branding or something?
Yeah, so I'm getting to the stage in my life where I need to start my life and start a business. I guess that's like the proper path, right?
Is that the proper path?
I guess.
It's a path.
That's what Alex Hormozzi and all these people kind of talk about online.
Gary Vee said if you're 30, you're still alive, but if you're 31, you're dead or something.
I don't know,
Is that what he said?
but I want to start a brand.
Up to interpretation.
What did he say, that VCon?
VCon.
I want to start a brand, but I also just don't know how the fuck to do it. But you guys both have started brands. You guys have both been in the business for so many years.
Yeah.
How do I start, not only in the fitness space, but just in general, how do I start a brand and then taking that, how do I find success in clothing in fitness?
You want to go philosophical or we want to go X's and O's?
Give me what would be the first step in starting a brand, like the first 5 steps?
You want to go philosophical or X's and O's?
I don't know
Let's
what
go
that
philosophical.
Okay.
Because I think more people will relate to that, right? Because that's like the beauty, that's like the romanticizing the
Yes,
story.
because I think most people, when they first start the brand, it is that like childlike wonder.
Yeah.
So I think that plays in line with that.
So number one rule, I guess it's not a number one step, but the number one rule I go by is if I enjoy something, I think something's cool, or I need or use something, there's going to be people out there that also enjoy, need, or like what I do. And so that's where I start my first step. I like lifting weights, or I'm good at lifting weights. How can I teach people how to lift weights?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
You do the philosophy.
And you go X's
I'll
and
do
O's.
X and O's right after.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So that's maybe just like thought one. I don't know if it's step one. Same thing. I've been into sneakers since I was in 3rd grade because I played basketball. I've been into clothes. I've been in all these things. Okay. Some people say I dress kind of cool, or I like how I dress. I like to represent myself and build confidence by how I dress. Okay, maybe I can design some cool things that other people also feel similarly with.
Okay, so the X's and O's to that is, I think, one of the biggest mistakes why I see people get burnt out real fast is they see the lifestyle, the vanity of things, and so they naturally aren't really attracted to the brand or the culture. They're actually attracted to what it brings. So first, I would say do the homework of, do I actually enjoy this? Like Mike loves streetwear. Outside of any other brand, he looks, he researches, he follows all these Instagrams. What's releasing? Like, what's the new colorway? He likes it. So number one, make sure you're really into the culture and industry that you want to put your brand into. And the second one, where a keyword that Mike said, which is a couple of years, make sure you're seasoned. Because a lot of people, they jump on too early, and it's almost like the personal trainer that did one set of curls that is now trying to coach other people. It's hard to lead a community and a culture if you don't even know anything about it.
Okay, so start a brand based off of something that I actually like,
Yes.
and then be able to
That you're an authority into, that you consider
Yeah.
yourself an authority
You know the
in.
term like culture vulture? We
Yeah.
want to avoid
Yeah.
that.
So something I actually like, and I want to represent that in a way that other people can relate to,
Yeah.
and then understand that it's actually work.
Yes. Like
then-
before I got
Yeah.
into barbell and stuff, I've already lifted for 10 years.
Yeah.
Right.
So I understand the gym, I understand fitness like pretty deeply. There's a lot of people that want to start a fitness brand and they just got into it like a year ago.
Yeah, and that doesn't go for you necessarily, but for other people that want to start a company or think entrepreneurship's cool, probably find yourself a job or a mentorship first. Like dive in. And this is semi-philosophical and semi just a good step that maybe crosses over with Bart's, or maybe even pre these steps. Everyone asks me like, oh, hey, I want to work for you, I want to edit for you, I want to design with you, I want to do all these things, but like they're not in my Discord, they're not members at my gym, they've never talked to me, they just like want a handout, like, hey, teach me. Like, well, who are you? Why? Like, show me that you have skin in the game, and then I'll teach you anything.
I like Jack Ma's approach. So he says 20 to 30. No. Like maybe like 18 to like mid 20s. Do anything and everything so you discover who you are. Because most people do not know who they are. They think they know who they are, but they don't know who they are. Do everything. Scrub a toilet, go surf, go fucking make balloon
Flick
animals.
your dick or something?
Flick your dick.
You mentioned that a couple
Yeah,
times.
flick your dick, pinch your nipples. Figure out who you are. What are the things you like? Number two, from 20 to 30 now, go work in that industry in a small company under a boss that's extremely driven. And he says the reason why you want to pick a small company, in a small company, you get the chance to do everything. and you get to absorb things through
Yeah, you learn,
osmosis.
man, you learn.
You go to Facebook, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're stuffed in the furthest
Yeah.
corner. You might have crazy good benefits and crazy good salary.
You learn nothing.
But you're gonna have blinders on to how the company operates. From 30 to 40, that's the time to either go out on your own because you know what you like and you've experienced everything and kind of know how like marketing ties into this and how this ties into operations and you have like a good understanding. Or now you can plug yourself into a big company and you'll be extremely valuable. And that regardless of you building your own brand or joining another brand, I feel like that's like a good way of developing who you are.
Say, those are all great advice, and I think all of that should be like taken into account. But say there's a kid right now that has an idea for a clothing brand, right? He's been lifting or it's outside of fitness, whatever it is. Should I make an Instagram? Should I make some shirts? Should I first start an LLC?
So you want more X's and O's?
I'm just trying to think, like, is it cool to start printing shirts and selling them to homies and making a little bit of money? Or the first thing is, no, you have to start an LLC and get super strict about everything.
I mean, if the IRS is watching, yeah, you got to make an LLC and you got to track all your ins and outs.
But no one ever does that.
No. I did it, but again, I started a lot of my stuff.
And you understand how it works.
But even in the beginning, I did.
But
I don't know
almost
why.
every company I know,
Yeah, for sure not.
if we were to technically look at the history,
Yeah, for sure not.
everyone did it illegal.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't. I started my first gym when I was 20, and I went because the internet wasn't as good, right? We're talking like 08, and the internet was good, but not as good. I went in person and filed an LLC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when I was 20.
Yeah, most people
don't.
Most people, like all the skate companies,
Yeah,
I
for
gotta
sure.
go dope design, print shirts, sell it out at the back of the trunk, go to skate, surf events, sell it there. I have 0 receipts. I'm not gonna pay taxes for sure, but they build it into a way where it's like, oh shit, this is a recurring income. Now I need to legitimize it.
Because do you think that would be cool where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have 20 shirts. I just want to sell to my close friends, and I'm gonna take photos, and if it
That's
starts
how everything
building hype,
starts. That's how music starts.
Yeah.
That's how ideas start.
Yeah.
That's how coaching starts.
It's technically illegal, but IRS is gonna come after you for 20 shirts.
Yeah,
that's why people skip that step.
To go to step 2, which is I think half and half, X's, O's, half not. A little bit of market research and a little bit of self-awareness. As much as I like debate and play devil's advocate here on the show, I also do with myself in life. So like, is my idea good? Is my idea different? Why should I do this? Is there a purpose, a story? Rather than, oh my God, I've followed Barquan for 12 years and Barbell Brigade's apparel is so cool. I want to sell shirts and be rich. Like that's probably not enough purpose to do it.
Yeah.
So like even with my own clothing, like all right, what can I do different? What can I do better? Wow, who am I? What am I? And then what is my brand and who is my brand?
Yeah. I think most people, like these days, like Anaka's huge, right? So most people probably see Shawley and his Lambos and Ferraris and stuff, and like I want to do that.
Yep.
But the biggest step that they're missing, and what I've seen in fitness, is the design aspect is actually the last step. The killers in fitness, like Christian Guzman, Shawley, Katie Hearn.
Max.
Yeah, what people forget is these guys, they've actually been coaching for like 10 years. They have their own coaching groups, they have good community. So all the tools that you need to build a brand, they've already been practicing it on top of the 10 years in fitness. Like Christian has been a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Shawley's been a bodybuilding coach. Like they've done all of this. They understand how to connect with people, what the culture is. So it's kind of like this brewing thing that's ready to explode, and then you sprinkle a little bit of Anaka, of course it explodes. But I think people are missing that big step, and they just go, oh shit, damn, Anaka's only been around for like 3 years or 5 years. Dude, I can do it. I'm like, but you haven't seen the 10, 15 years worth of work beforehand. Yeah.
and it's also they didn't blow up immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it does seem in terms of business-wise, it does seem like pretty quick.
No, but yeah,
But it's
Anaka
like
probably
3 or
started
4
at
years.
16 or 17.
Yeah, and it was like nothing.
Yeah, it
until
was
like
with wrist
recently.
wraps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, but like even more further back, say like there's a kid watching and is like, I'd want to take. How would I actually? What would be like the first step of like getting anything made? Like how would you guys? Like what was like the first shirts you guys made? What was the first like photo shoots? Would you guys had models?
Yeah, I mean the beauty now is that the internet, you can literally Google anything. Good clothing manufacturer, good T-shirt printer, good how to form LLC, how to open business bank account. Like you can Google literally anything. Back in the day, and it's not that long ago, but 08, 09, I was literally calling the county. Hey, do I need a business? Even opening the gym.
Yeah.
Because each county, city, state has different rules. I had to call, the state stuff's easy because California's big.
Yeah.
But I had to call my county to see what insurance and licensing I need.
Yeah.
My state to see what taxes I need. And you just call and Google your way through.
Some X's and O's to that is like literally if I go back to like 2012, it was like, okay, I want to make t-shirts. I just started asking the people that I know. And then at that time I was already on YouTube, so I had some friends that have like merch shops. So I asked them, okay, cool, like how much would it cost to print 10? Because the price of 10 is different than 50, price of 100. And then I'm like, oh shit, well how much should I sell it for? I'm like, if I get it at cost, if I sell it for like double, is that good? And then I would talk to other people that have actually ran stores, and they're like, well, then if you're only making double, then what about wholesale? And then you're like, oh shit, I never even thought about that. And you're like, so he was like, to cover your cost, like, because that means for one shirt, if it's only double what you make, that one shirt can only produce 2.
Yeah, you're only making,
And
you're
you
only
still
buying
have,
your next
and you
steal.
still haven't paid yourself.
Yeah.
Or your staff or whatever. So they're like, so they're telling me like, you want to try to get a margin where it's 3x. And then super giant companies like fucking Nike, it's literally like $10 to make the shoe, and then you sell it for $100 because they have so much other overhead. They're sponsoring the NBA, they're doing all this other stuff. So
licensing.
like, yeah, so a lot of it is kind of like finding a direction, then trying to tap into all the resources that you have around you, whether it's people, bookstores, or the internet.
Yeah.
And the internet is a huge one. And then trying to get your messaging, your brand out there, and that's when the being unique is really, really important. Where like, how do I differentiate myself from this other brand? Because if it's the same thing, why would people want to buy your stuff?
Should I focus on trying to be getting the Lambo right now?
Never.
First, always first, yeah.
What I was gonna say, even to get to where Bart said, because he said, oh, I was a YouTuber and I had homies that did this, because he had skin in the game, because he put in his first YouTube videos, he wasn't getting paid.
Yeah.
Right? You have to work, either offer free work, offer to be a volunteer, offer to be an intern, find a job, kind of again that 18 to 25. Even the age doesn't really matter, because like I always talk about Bill Withers, who's one of my favorite singers, and he didn't like make an album until he was like 50. And he goes down as one of the best R&B singers of all
same
time.
thing with Joe Rogan. People
Right.
forget that he actually blew up after he was like 50.
Right. So get a job, dive head first into an industry, a job, or a volunteer internship in whatever you want to learn from, and honestly go there to work hard. Don't go there to pick, oh, I'm gonna get Bart's secrets and dip. Like, go there to work hard, because as a business owner and as a boss and a manager, you can feel out slime, and I'm just not gonna let you in on the secret meetings. Like, I ain't gonna tell you shit. So go in, learn. Like, you guys know from being in behind the scenes here. Like, you guys ask us anything, we'll tell you freaking. I'll open my bank account. I'll show you everything. Like, that's the best way to learn, is by doing. And so that would be suggestion number 1, because then you can come back and ask Bart, hey, where should I get a printer? What printing? What's my cost?
Or if you put in the time, you see it happening.
Yeah, you'll learn.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah, you actually just absorb it all.
One last quick question. So say I have my shirts in hand, because I've seen it many times at expos or at gyms where like kids will come up and like they giving me shirts, they've given you guys shirts, or they leave stuff for you guys, or they've given stuff to anyone else, and then you kind of get it and you're like, yeah, I'm never gonna wear this, right? Maybe because it's just bad, or this, that, or maybe it's just like, hey, I'm busy, like, oh, you came at me right time, like, oh, thank you, like, you appreciate the thought, but sometimes it's just out of place, right? How do I get the clothing to get to who the people I want,
and then rock it.
And then rock it, or how do I get to the size where they would want to wear it?
I think both parts. I think by doing, like I said, you're gonna make 10. I don't love the first shirt I ever put out, so you're gonna learn. And I've designed shirts since high school. I was a big Pharrell fan, and so he's had Bape and all this stuff. I was designing shirts in high school, thinking what would look cool and not. So you get better at doing your job by doing it. Same with lifting, same with anything. You can't just come out. You're not just gonna wake up tomorrow and be the next Ablo. Like, you're not just gonna be the next Virgil making the dopest shit on the game, or the next Jerry Lorenzo. You have to do it and become a skill of your eye and your design. And then 2, for me, like your instance, someone giving me a shirt, I have to know you have skin in the game. If you're just a kid and you maybe watch my YouTube and you just throw me a shirt, like, that's not skin in the game to me. It's like, have you been part of the culture? Have I seen you random face at powerlifting meets? Have I seen your YouTube as I'm scrolling around? Like, are you part of this? And it doesn't matter the scale. You could have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, but have done YouTube for 5 years, I tip my hat and I'll rock with you. But if you just put out one video and you just made a shirt and now you're already looking for the Lambo because you love Shawley, now I probably don't give you as much respect. I probably won't give you as much as my time, and I probably won't give you as much feedback or love.
I would say leading by example is a huge thing, because people can feel that like I'm really about this. Do you want to share my vision? Versus, hey, put this on and make me famous.
Yeah.
They can feel that. And then also the one like line that I really liked from Hormozy, where he's talking about always think about the value that you're adding. So if it's a kid that like I just see him come off stage and he just pulled 700 and he goes, hey, Bart, I'm a big fan and I would love to give you a shirt. I'm like, this guy put skin in the game. He's actually doing something.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. Like I would love to support someone else coming up, you know? But if you're not adding value, whether like in my design, hey, like I'll design this for you and can you shout me out? If you're not adding value and we don't see you having skin in the game and leading by example, it's really hard to spread your message because you're not adding value to anybody's life.
Yeah, I mean that's dope. I think like I'm at a better position, or hopefully people watching kind of like know how to start, because I feel like there's a lot more than just putting the t-shirt on.
Yeah, and on top of that, I guess to note it off is that it's probably not what you think it is. People think they're open a gym because they like to lift weights. You should open a gym if you like to clean toilets, if you like to manage people, if you like to manage books, because that's what the actual job entails. And so designing clothes is the same. It doesn't mean I throw on this tee, I throw my logo on, and now I'm walking the red carpet hanging out with Bruno Mars. It's about counting inventory. It's about counting margins. The real work isn't what the picture is. And so you have to love the work. You got to like the process. And I hate the process, but I still get it done because I like the frosting and flicking my dick.